hear me? Please hurry. The toilet's overflowed on me at least twice.
Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again, friend. What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust bucket? Something broke. Well, actually 2 things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I came to clean that up, the damn door decided to close and lock on me. Time stood still. I was aware of nothing but the smell. Ugh, could have been days. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song is gonna have my ass for wage theft. You're gonna shake me down after I was trapped in a shit-covered bathroom? Is that how it is? That all? Of course. Everyone on the ship's gonna hear about this. Hell, it's the only chance I've got to keep my job. Suppose it's time to reevaluate my career goals.
I'm gonna need another shower after this. Damn it! I just cleaned my boots this morning.
Happening on Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was in dispute with the Renegade Company. Sounded...
CNP Borsworth. CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. CNP pancake mix. Now requires no mixing. Seriously, don't mix it.
Salvage is a family business. We got each other's back.
Sublight puts the organized in organized crime. I'm trying to get him to use that slogan.
Got any leads on salvage? Doesn't even have to be broke yet.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the Unreliable? Sure you are. Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door. Sure am. A few years back they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
Sublight for life. The corporation's never lifted a finger for me.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. A little advice. Before you start telling lies, get a feel for who you're talking to. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. Is Ada still at the helm? I don't know how many times I told Hawthorne to restore that smartass to factory settings. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings, but there's a catch.
Does this make us Sublight agents now?
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is... These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interest. Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's... Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation. Your words, not mine. Hey, careful with the C word around here. I like to keep things above... Sublight occupies a legal blind spot. No one knows what we're licensed to do, and that gives our little Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but also... Ask. I have nothing to hide. Be seeing you. Make sure...
What was that? Hey, I saw... What do you think you're doing? Consider this your warning.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of space... Sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. Absolutely not. Spratwurst and all related terms are registered. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&P. Terra frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and spices, plus a dash of modern Legally? No. The terra frying method was developed and marketed by Spacer's Choice. Between you, me, and this grinder, I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you learn on tramp freighters, might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears. And could be that, just as well, near about, long as you don't mind, just fresh from the grind.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only a testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked Eridanos, indentured to the corporations. Not from around here, are ya? After leaving Earth, they worked a local gas giant from a floating refinery. Dangerous work. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on Groundbreaker. It's the last bastion of freedom. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape.
Wish they'd let us off station. Air appears during the cycle space parts.
This is House
XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Was a time I wanted to be an engineer.
I can spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's mine. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances... So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Felix Millstone. Nice to see you out of Docking Bay.
Yes, ma'am. Been at least a couple weeks since my last nose-related...
Uh-huh. I'm glad to see you in a captain's custody. Just try not to steal any critical parts from my ship.
It's possible I got caught lifting some spare parts a couple years back, but it was only just that one time. Honest.
I'd tell you to stay out of trouble, but I know you'll find it anyway. Whatever you do, just make sure I don't find out. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't... The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth, and the board monopolizes that kind of trade. That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them the shops, the docking fees, and a damn embassy. Damn right. And while I'm captain of the Groundbreaker, it falls to me to preserve this ship's independence. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable. Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed. This whole deck smells like ass. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the cross. I was promoted only recently. What?
They must have been amazing people.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. No.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the dock. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong. You've got my attention.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your more...
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
So, you got that?
Speak your mind.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs on it.
Watch out something doesn't explode in your face.
What? I had nearly figured out how to run that bypass job. Now I've lost my concentration.
Clever.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable. This unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit is programmed to simulate shock at such shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been filed. Shock simulation restored. Finish how dare you. Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. This unit dispense proteins for your beginning dispensing sequence. All organic. This unit dispense this unit would clarify. There is a dead user error in the maintenance of this unit's cutlery. Engaged several systems at once. The slicer, the grinder, the tenderizer. This unit behaves precisely as it was engineered. Neither this unit is not designated for cleaning duties and cannot be compelled to. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please
If you got a complaint, file it at security.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about it.
I know she's in there, Emperor.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon.
Oh, it's Martin. Hey.
How observant. I'm authorized to state that this uniform is more than headgear. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's a lot of slogans to keep track of. Heard of it? My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
If you did, that'd be good, actually.
I'd have to go over my contract, but I don't think So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you. Shit. Oh, shit. As the face of Spacer's Choice, it's my honor to be a public figure. Who needs privacy when you have anything and everything? Whatever you want, we got it. And when you need a replacement, just the opposite. Spacer's Choice items are... Oh, sorry. Got the line wrong. You want me to do it again? It's a script. If I don't follow it to a T, I might lose my job. You want me to do it right? Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves, because customers just can't stop improving their lives. You could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate. We're here with an active inventory whenever you like.
How do we know you're smiling behind that mask? You could...
The mask is all the smile I need. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send... Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as Spacer's Choice is affordable. I can see all of the top-quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this. Sprat Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of... Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all the ground. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed in. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed. Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vet. You would never ask if you knew. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Just keep your nose clean and aim. Even if my contract didn't forbid it. I think, now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green. Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job, it may not seem like much to a brave. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all... Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this It's fine. Speaking of interest, can I have a look?
Some townships have asked Halcyon News to make a statement regarding rumors of food shortage. Rest assured.
Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void. Just lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're out now. I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. You've certainly been blessed with an abundance of sass, haven't you? But it's your interstellar currency I'm interested in, not your... Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure.
An abandoned outpost?
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside, and the more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of... Then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording complete. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but
I don't know, ma'am. She seemed...
Well, aren't you sweet?
What?
Forget I said anything. Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from. And ferret out. Shouldn't be too tough for a What do you want, then? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Groundbreaker's radiators. Been neither fine nor dandy for weeks. Miss Junlei's supposed to be getting them fixed, but the board's determined to get in her... The board can't abide a community that won't... They've always got one scheme or another run, but it won't work. No, sir. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy... I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
Please tell me you're not the reason Black Hole Birdie shaved his head in the last pennant match?
Well, Mr. Holcomb did win his pennant, didn't he? But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest... But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama. Showcase... That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on... Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows? Any times...
This is Halcyon News.
Seeking relief from the heat? Till Junlei gets those radiators fixed, I've got the next best thing. I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who? The radiators, they're and we're all sweating buckets wondering when the powers that be are gonna get around to fix. Couldn't say, and I wouldn't be pouring drinks All I know is we're cooking in our own juices here, and it's only... They're supposed to gather up all the heat the systems generate. Instead of the heat going where it ought, though, it seems to be blowing straight down the promenade. Weeks? I lost track. Too law-damn long. Engineering. Chief Junlei Tennis.
Miss Junlei seems real on top of things.
Don't know what's got her dragging her heels, but I wish she'd hurry it up. That's not for me to say. There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. Any system... She doesn't come around here often, though. Don't... What ain't I...
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leaked. Report any sighting.
Sorry about the heat. Here, drink up. No excuse for dehydration on my watch.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king.
Hey, I know this guy.
Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on. Time to feed the flame. First, I'm gonna...
Well, hey there, your lordship.
Is this...
Seeing you here feels like old times. Now, what brings you down to my sprat-infested... Ship got impounded? The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the Groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. They rejected it again, didn't they? I thought I could take my fungus garden and go corporate, you know?
Rizzos wouldn't know innovation if it bit him on their backsides. You're a natural inventor, Mr. McRed.
Kinda you to say, engine gal. You're a lighter in dark time. Ship got it. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Any friend of Felix is free to wander. The second floor is my place. Off limits to the likes of you. Whatever business brings you down.
Keep it quiet, Cap.
step in that direction, friend.
Fred wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like
Oh,
that.
sweet home.
Not another step in that direction, friend.
If you were one of the original colonists, this place would have been your home.
Boss says you're all right. Uncle Red gave me a... Uncle Red gave me a taste of the good stuff.
Neighbor from above.
That's right, sir. Just the parts?
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. We were just sitting in a circle, sucking down exhaust fumes and toasting to the memory of our brain cells. Making this broken angel... You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that. Neighbor from above. Everything has a price. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way. Lay it on me, boss. I'm good. You can come and go and...
Wake up. There's no such thing as pizza. It's all open-faced pasta.
You've been getting into the boss's special stash again, haven't you?
Back bays are all the home we have. And only... What do you think you're doing? All right. Scram.
Bet we can do some good with these.
People don't like worms in their shrooms.
Besides, they're my friends.
Find a new friend. This worm fixate. My backside still smarts. Does everyone get branded?
Nope. Your ass is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm honored.
The back bays are all the home we have, and the only home we need.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
Where the hell have you been, Private?
Somehow, I always find my way back to the Groundbreaker. Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back bays. That's right. Can't get anything past you. Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there. I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but not for me. I had to make my own way. That's what they called us. Orphans with no family, no company to take... The word's a touch kindlier than rung leech, but the meaning's just as clear. If you can't support your own self, you don't deserve to be on the Groundbreaker. Same way we all do. Looked for work, and hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. Foreman and I never got on. Yeah, I hear you, boss. Sounds like I was out of line, right? But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick? That felt good. That's what I like about you, boss. I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up, I'd still be back at the docks, waiting for the day my ship arrives. Yeah. I guess... Thanks for listening, Yeah, boss?
That Chief Junlei sure seems well, huh? Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And gosh, did she ever. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? It's just... she's calm and knows what to do.
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Clear of the radiator.
Heads up, boss! Everyone all right? All right, here we go!
terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. If you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pumps. Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now.
Yeah, boss?
This is Halcyon News.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.